Have you ever wondered what true, unconditional love looks like? Let me tell you a story about a dog, a very special dog, who taught an entire family the meaning of selflessness. His name was Buddy, and he was a scruffy, lovable mutt, with eyes that held the wisdom of 1,000 lifetimes. Every evening, as the family gathered around the dinner table, a familiar ritual would unfold: the clinking of cutlery, the hum of conversation, the delicious smells wafting from the kitchenette was a scene of perfect domestic harmony. And in the corner of the room, sitting patiently, was Buddy. He would watch as plates were filled and passed around. He'd see the first bites being taken, hear the sighs of satisfaction, and observe the slow, happy rhythm of a shared meal. His tail would give a gentle, rhythmic thump-thump-thump against the floor, a quiet metronome to the family's dinner symphony. He never whined. He never begged. He never nudged a hand for a morsel, Hoost! Why, his gaze was steady, not with longing for himself, but with a deep, abiding affection for the people he considered his pack. Only when the last fork was set down, when the chairs were pushed back and the first person stood up, would Buddy make his move. He'd rise slowly, stretch his tired limbs, and amble over to his bowl. He'd give it a hopeful sniff, his nose twitching. More often than not, the bowl was empty. The leftovers had been packed away, the scraps discarded. There was nothing for him. You might expect a whimper, a sad look, a sign of disappointment, but not from Buddy. He would simply turn away from the empty bowl, find the nearest family member, and rest his head on their lap. His tail would start wagging again, a little faster this time, as if to say, "It's okay. My belly might be empty, but my heart is full because you are all here, safe and fed." It was as if his own hunger was a small price to pay for the contentment of his family. Seeing their full bellies was his feast. This went on for years. The family, caught up in their own lives, their own stresses and joys, didn't always notice. They loved Buddy, of course, but his quiet sacrifice had become part of the background noise of their lives. It was just what Buddy did. They assumed he must be finding food somewhere, or perhaps he just wasn't very hungry. They never stopped to truly see what was happening right in front of him. One evening, the youngest daughter, Lily, was having a tough day. She'd had an argument with a friend at school and had been quietly pushing her food around her plate, her appetite gone. As everyone else finished, she watched Buddy perform his nightly ritual. He got up, checked his empty bowl, and then, instead of seeking comfort, he came straight to her. He nudged her hand gently with his wet nose and looked at her with those soulful, understanding eyes. In that moment, it was like a light bulb went on in Lily's head. She finally saw it. She saw the unwavering patience, the quiet hope, and the profound love in that simple act. She saw a creature who consistently put everyone else's needs before his own, without ever asking for anything in return. Her own small problems suddenly felt insignificant compared to the lesson this humble dog was teaching her. Tears welled up in her eyes. She slid off her chair, knelt on the floor, and wrapped her arms around Buddy's neck. "You're a good boy, Buddy," she whispered into his fur. "The best boy." That night, Lily took her own uneaten portion of roast chicken and placed it in Buddy's bowl. The look of surprise, and then gentle gratitude on Buddy's face was something she would never forget. Ate slowly, savoring every bite, glancing up at her every so often as if to say thank you. From that day on, things changed. Lily made sure everyone understood. The family started a new tradition. Before anyone took their own first bite, a portion was set aside for Buddy. His bowl was filled first. At first, Buddy seemed confused. He would hold wait, looking at his full bowl, and then back at the family, as if waiting for permission. It took a few nights for him to understand that this was his new reality. He was no longer the last to eat. He was an honored member of the feast. The change in the house was palpable. It wasn't just about feeding the dog. It was about recognizing and honoring the love he had so freely given them for all those years. It was a lesson in mindfulness, in noticing the quiet sacrifices of those around us. Buddy's simple act of waiting had, in the end, taught the family how to be more present, more grateful, and more loving towards each other. Buddy's tail wags were different now, too. They were still happy, but there was a new lightness to them, a carefree joy that hadn't been there before. He still waited for the family to gather, but now he sat by his full bowl, a silent guardian of the meal. Knowing his place was secure, his love reciprocated. He taught them that the greatest love isn't about grand gestures, but about this small, consistent acts of putting others first. And sometimes it takes the quietest member of the family to speak the loudest truth. This story reminds us to look for the buddies in our own lives. Who is it that quietly supports you, that puts your happiness before their own? Maybe it's a parent, a friend, or even a pet. Let's make sure we see them, that we appreciate them, and that we fill their bowl before they even have to ask. Because a love like that is the most precious thing in the world. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more stories that warm the soul. We'll see you in the next one.